Welcome to the You Heard podcast, your go-to for Miami Hurricanes football. Ben, Joe, Polk, and CB break down recruiting, hot topics, and game day action.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end.
No, let's talk about this right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like,
what are we talking about, son?
Get into it, talk. I felt
Keeping it a buck.
Let me close these curtains real quick.
You heard.
pretty good. All right.
Yo,
and Joe's got the right mic.
Going down.
What's popping, Polk? I know you're enjoying this weekend. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Loving it.
You sound a little low. I think my speakers turned down. Polk, how you doing? Joe, how you doing? My bad. I just woke up from a nap, dog. I was gone,
Out.
dog. I was out like a light. I didn't set an alarm or nothing. I just went crazy for the nap. What up, Joey?
Yeah. Chilling, man. Ready to get this week started. Work week. Some of us will be working. Some of us will be home chilling.
Okay.
Sipping on, whatever we sip on, chocolate milk or whatever.
That's what we're doing. We are lactate, dog.
I mean,
lactate,
you can't go wrong with a cold, tall glass of chocolate milk, though.
But as we get older, our guts don't be the same, man.
Hey, lactose intolerance is a thing, baby. Lactose intolerance.
I'm good with it. But,
I am not, sir. I am not.
Yeah,
Sucks for you.
I am
Then.
not. Lactate, dog. Lactate. What up, chat? How y'all doing, man? Got
chat, man. What's going on, chat?
Got Kobe Greggs, Anthony Manzano already asking questions. Love it. Oh, snap. Ayo in the building. Ayo, let me ask you a question, dog. Let me look at the camera. Did you fix your dungeon, fam? Or are we still?
We'll see Wednesday, I guess. We'll see Wednesday.
Yeah, man. So appreciate y'all checking us out, man. Yeah, man. First official visit weekend. I promise I'll get English handled by the end of this show. I don't know when that's gonna. I'm hoping by the 45th minute when Mo shows up.
When Mo shows up,
you'll
be talking right.
It out. Yeah. Look, man. We'll get to the OVs in a minute. We gotta start with the big news, man. Real games are being played right now, and there's only one person watching it because I haven't watched
baseball, man.
Yeah. So
Metal bats.
Our Hall of Fame, you know what I'm saying, in the rafters pitcher. You know what I'm saying? Philly drafted. Let me give you the right, you know what I'm saying? Let me give you the right rollout. Philly drafted,
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? 30 records at his college. Met the man that broke his strikeout record this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? The Polk County legend.
Not hardly.
Hey, Polk, don't ruin the rollout, man. Don't humble the rollout. Let me talk my shit. All right, man. Talk about it. What's going on with them Kings, man? They pulled out a close one on Friday.
Yep.
Just crushed. Columbia.
Yep.
That's all I got. That was my rollout. Go ahead.
They are absolutely on fire right now, getting hot at the right time. I mean, we kind of at the end of the season, man, we had our doubts, but it's the story of how this season has gone, man. It's been a roller coaster the whole way through. We end the season on kind of a sour note, get to the ACC tournament and fizzle out, and we're like, well, crossing our fingers we even make the playoffs and go further, and then as fate would have it, we did, and we showed out, held off against Bama.
Froze?
No, we're all good.
No,
we're good.
Joey looks frozen.
Joey looks, unless this is the longest blink ever. Did he blink yet?
Oh, I'm froze.
There he is.
We do have a major storm going on right now, so that could be
okay. And we had one roll in yesterday. But knocked off. Went toe to toe with Bama that first game, and I tell you that last inning, I don't know if I blinked or even took a breath, especially that last out, because that would have been a walk-off home run for Bama had that ball carried another 4 or 5 feet. But as soon as Mikey started slowing up and his back was at the wall, I thought that was over, and then he just reaches up and it falls right in. So amazing outing by the true freshman against Bama, pitched the gem. And then Hugo's coming back against Columbia in the next game and throwing a complete game gem. I mean, when you get to this point in the season, especially with the playoff, pitching is at a premium. And if you can save arms, then you are way ahead of any other team. Plus, with those teams that are playing in the loss bracket and trying to play back out of it, like Southern Miss won today against Columbia, so that's who we face tonight at 7. But they're playing a doubleheader, and they're on they have to beat us twice in order to move on.
Yep.
So as far as pitching goes for them, they might be scraping the bottom of the barrel at some point, maybe tonight. And if for whatever reason we can't, slam the door and move on, tomorrow is going to be even tougher for them. So these teams playing out of the losers bracket, man, it's a tough road ahead for a lot of them if they don't have the pitching depth. So, I mean, the stage is set for Miami to take it because we had host teams already get knocked out. We had Oregon, they're done. Georgia's done. Clemson's done. Florida wasn't a host, but they're done. Vandy, the number 1 team in the country, just lost. They're out. Crazy. So, I think it was Murray State, I think. I don't remember. I just looked at it, but I can't remember. But we play the winner out of Louisville in that game should we advance past tonight. So we get the super regional with either the winner of Louisville and Murray State, which going into this tournament, I was like, oh, that's good. If we make it through the regional, it's gonna be tough going against Vanderbilt, but ain't got to worry about them now. Wright State. Thank you, Adrian Baker. Appreciate it. Wright State.
Polk, I have a question, man. So not familiar with how the baseball tournament works, but are they all neutral? Are they all neutral site games, or do you go to the higher seed home, or how does that?
Yeah, I know for this portion, I think it goes to the higher seed after this one as well. So
super regionals,
for super regionals. So, and I think that's the best of 3. But right now, you're playing at the higher seeds home field. So we're playing at Southern Misses in Hattiesburg. Georgia was a host, so they were playing in Athens. Oregon was a host, so they were playing out in Eugene, and so on. So the top seeds, the home field for the regionals, and then super regional. I think it goes to the higher ranked seed. Which in this case, I don't know how that's going to work as far as if Miami advances and Louisville advances. But that's looking to me. That's who I would pick. We get past Southern Miss. I mean, Southern Miss is a tough team, but they weren't a top seed for nothing. So.
I have a question. Did all of Oregon's uniform combinations didn't help them win a national championship again in another sport?
No. Okay. Surprisingly not.
It's weird. That's so crazy.
I don't know. Maybe if they would have jumped in a pool or something between games, exactly. Maybe that would have helped.
Waited 17 days. That they wouldn't jump back. That's so weird. All those uniform combinations. Another year with no natties. Shout out to the guy Flo. He'll be back tomorrow. He's doing his research on a size 850 font. You know what I'm saying? Making sure he gets all his recruiting ducks in a row, figuring it all out. Yeah, man, they'll beat Southern. Hopefully close out Southern Miss tonight. They get a week's rest, right? So then they'll go next weekend if they have to travel or host it at home, right? Because the regionals are on the weekend.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Okay, I have no idea because it goes super regionals then Omaha, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Dope.
Omaha. I wonder if AO is out there. Wonder if he'll go to the game. You gonna go to the game?
I got a good friend. I got a good friend in Mississippi that went last year when Ole Miss won it. He went out to Omaha. It was like the greatest experience he's ever had at a sporting event, and he's an Ole Miss fan. So shout out to my guy, man, my guy C-Dub.
Yeah, Old Miss was on the verge too of dropping. I don't know if that one went final yet or not, but they were down to Georgia Tech.
Whew.
Oh, it's tied. They're tied in the 7th, so loser that one's done.
Dicey, I guess, real dicey.
It's been, I mean, it's been wild. Some of these games this year with college baseball. I just love that
Florida lost. You know what I'm saying? I'm real happy about that.
Oh yeah. If only Florida State would have done the same, but they're really good. I'm not gonna lie, they're really good.
They are a good baseball team. Can't even lie about that one.
No.
Give credit when credit. We hate, but we ain't gonna lie. There's a difference. There's a difference there. You know what I'm saying?
They need to go grab one of them pitchers to play quarterback or something.
Somebody over 6'1". It's 5'10". Ain't gonna do it, dog. All right, man. Let's just break this up. Let's get to this Caneswear ad and just go right into recruiting talk.
Let's do it
right back. And if I find it, there it is.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before we do move on, shout out to our guy Anthony Polk. I missed this question, so I want to make sure I get it. Polk, I want to see how they rank and rate baseball players. Do they have a star rating system like they use in football and basketball?
Not so much. No,
okay,
it's just they it's different in baseball because they have. I mean, there's so many different I don't know, rankings out there. A lot of them use Perfect Game, USA Baseball. So there's quite a few of them, but yeah, baseball doesn't really do it as far as like star rankings. I mean, they rank the players, but there's no like star system associated with it.
Okay, all right.
So
I had no idea. That was a good question. I wanted to make sure I got that out there. Shout out to our guy Ant. All right, fellas. 17 players came through Coral Gables. 17 recruits came through Coral Gables this weekend. A lot of big names. A lot of people we're waiting to see a graphic, waiting to see some kind of news. But you know what it is. It's December, right? That's the motto, that's the slogan, that's the mantra. But out of those 17 names, man, let's just talk about them. Polk, you know what I'm saying? You got off on Wednesdays, you off on Sunday. How you feeling about the 17 that came through this weekend? Which, shout out to the graphics department. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole department of graphics. They both have the same name in that department. You know what I'm saying? It's just so shout out to the graphics department.
Putting in some overtime.
Yeah,
putting in some overtime.
Big numbers on the edits, man.
10:30. What about this name? I'm saying 10:30 text messages.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot more coming too. But yeah, man, how you feeling about the names that came through Coral Gables?
No, I mean, some big names came through. I mean, even some guys that the program's very, very high on. So, I mean, all the reports coming out have nothing but good things to say. That everything went real well. I think notched us up a few spots on some of the recruits on their boards, and as far as what they're considering Miami to be, Lamar Brown, one of them. You can just tell by what he's been posting and what he's been tweeting and saying. So I think we definitely gained a ton of ground with him and Tristen Keys as well. So it was probably. I mean, I don't think it could have. The recruiting visit season, I don't think could have started any better than it did this past weekend. Right. So I know they pulled out all the stops for the guys, for the recruits they had come in, and so very pleased with how it started off.
No doubt. Joey, shout out. Hey, hold on. Let's acknowledge Mo is here, guys.
Yeah, Mo got
at 19 minutes.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him. Bro.
Is that a record or no?
No, he was here like one time at like the 7th minute. I think he just accidentally hit. You know what I'm saying? Hit it while he was doing literally anything else. But shout out to our guy.
Maybe top 3 early entrances.
Yeah, exactly. Please watch our last show, Mo, for all the names that Joey broke down. But we'll talk about some of them. 17 players, Mo. We got you. All right, man.
He knows.
What you got, Joey?
Please excuse my wife, my connection, man. I feel like it's real jumpy right now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
We're good.
We good.
Yeah, it feels like it's just crazy.
This is what it feels like for me.
The big names came out. We still got a couple more weekends of this, man. So I'm very excited. But all the recruits seem to love what they saw. It's easy to fall in love with Miami and Coral Gables and the campus and everything. So they're all saying the right things right now. So we'll see what comes out of it, man. Once that staff gets guys on campus, it changes things, man. It changes things. So it's big getting these big names on campus. So
yeah, man, no doubt. And yeah, we got to your question earlier about the pitch, and we'll get to the rest of them in a minute. Yeah, man, like I wanted to take the opposite approach for a second. With what everybody's saying, like the feedback to the reporter. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to that guy Zuby, Stephen White, all the people that's on the ground doing it. I have I guess like a pessimistic eye about it, where I'm just like, how much is this negotiation tactics? You know what I'm saying? Because we are in the world of NIL. When you're Lamar Brown, that's literally on LSU's campus, tweeting out what he's tweeting out, or you looking at it, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, LSU's gonna see this, and their NIL department, so you're gonna have to, up the bag. Tristen Keys, multiple visits. His third visit to Miami. Is he just, I'm not saying just doing it for that, but look, man, you got to get the most money out of somebody who wants your employment. You know what I'm saying? The way you want to do it. So I take all this stuff with a grain of salt till December. That's really now that's what the December is. I'm not looking so much at it as like the flips and waiting for that, since Miami doesn't do in-season visits, official visits. But I'm just looking at it like when that pen goes to paper, that's when I know it's official. You know what I'm saying? Like everything else like this is just we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, because right now they're all saying the right things, right?
Yes.
So.
Yes. You have to, right? Like that's what, like, yo, like, you know what? Now, look, if I'm a wanted commodity, right, and I have these five possible jobs trying to get after me, like, yo, man, you know what? Company X was really talking some good stuff. What do you have? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to pin you all against each other to try to get the most money for myself. Like, that's just business, dog. Like, so you're gonna say the right. You're not gonna be like, yo, I didn't like them, because then LSU is gonna be like, all right, then we got it in the bag. One weekend we don't have to worry about it, and we'll think about it next week. So that's also that side of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, though, there's some young men you can look at some signs, right? So let's say Tristen Keys. He's been on campus. This is fifth time?
Third time.
Third time.
Yep.
He's an Adidas athlete already.
Yes. Yep.
And you come in here and you're the man already. Like, you come in here, you and JoJo are the two guys. And Darion Coleman is coming in with you. You know, so, and the offense, Shannon Dawson's offense.
Yeah.
You know, so there are things that work, in Miami's favor here. It's not, again, money is going to be a factor, of course. That's what it is now. Everybody could shut the hell up with, the money argument. Everybody's getting money.
Except Oregon. Oregon.
Everybody's paying, man.
According to Justin Hopkins from Oregon doesn't pay for their recruits.
Yeah, they don't pay, man. But and Miami's the only non-SEC school in the SEC or Big Ten, right? Or is it just SEC? I feel like it's just all SEC schools in his final, group. So, there are things to look at with some of these guys, man. Lamar Brown, and it's just like Miami guys who leave Miami.
Yep.
Lamar Brown might want to leave Louisiana.
Yeah. He saw LSU every day for he saw
Tristen Keys might want to leave Mississippi.
Yeah.
Like, it's certain things that just happen that you can't help, man.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, no doubt. Greg says, I think the recruits are using a UM visit to their advantage is unavoidable. You can't blame them. I think any visit you're using it to your advantage, though, Greg. Like it's not a Miami, it's not a Miami specific thing. That's what we're trying to say is like you're gonna Derrek Cooper is gonna take visits next weekend and the weekend after that and the weekend after that, and he's gonna say those same things after every visit. As we're trying to tell you, like, don't panic after that because that's what you're gonna do to get that. You know what I mean? Like to secure a financial bag. You know what I'm saying? Or anything to put yourself in the best position because right now is until the spring portal and possibly the winter portal. Like now is the time when you have the power as the recruit as a top level athlete and you know what I'm saying? Like you have the choice to make and you have the opportunity to put them in that situation. And we did answer your question. Just go back to like the 17th minute, right after the Caneswear ad. We handled your question, so we don't want to double back on that. It's all part of the process. You know what I'm saying? Like Absolutely. Again, if y'all don't know the timeline, May and through June is official visits every weekend. You could take midweek visits. It's unlimited amount of visits. I think Derrek Cooper has 5 visits or 4 more visits left after this one. July, complete dead period. Possibly when commits will start popping up. But there's no contact with the player. I'm sure there's communications with representatives, but you can't communicate directly with the player. And then the season starts. So I'm saying official visits is the crazy time. This is the time you put your best foot forward. But yeah, man, like so besides the top players, right? You had Chauncey Kennan, 5-star defensive back, Lamar Brown, Derrek Cooper, Tristen Keys. Besides those top names that most fans and most people know, if you follow recruiting, who are some of the guys that jumped out to you? Like I got to see a lot more from the creative department that myself and Polk have funded. I got to see some huddle tape and watch some more that I wouldn't normally have seen, right? Because sometimes I do just go after the go, like, oh, let me see who's this 5-star and try to see the differences between this 5-star and a 3-star, and like what pops out to me. So who were some names besides those top 4 or 5 guys that jumped out to you that y'all got to watch or that just stood out to you as far as names? Joy, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Joy, what you got?
Yeah.
Daniel Norman. Man, from Miami. He's on a come up. He's only a 3-star now, but that's gonna change. That has to change. But who gives a fuck about stars? But Daniel Norman, man, he's a problem. And again, in the mold of just a pass rusher, you know, who can get to the ball, who can change direction, who can, play with speed. He's a problem. And Keyshawn Stansel from my area, North Carolina, man, D tackle. The beast, man. He's one of those. He's one of those guys, man. I think that that recruitment is. I think there's going to be a little bit of work to do because locally, they're going to come after him hard. But
you got some local schools,
Miami, man. Yeah. I think Jason Taylor's a bigger influence than a lot of people want to, recognize. But it's a reason he was the only one kept on staff. On that side of the ball,
on that defensive side of the ball, I hate you took Keyshawn right because y'all know the U-Herd rules. If one of us say names, we gotta pick out other ones and highlight them as to why. So this happens now. I gotta, make sure I got, some backups.
There's plenty other people to pick.
The whole list, man. The whole list was fantastic. Like you could really go down it. Yo, shout out real quick if y'all don't know Daniel Norman, St. Thomas Aquinas, edge rusher. 3-star, if y'all care about stars, 6'4", 205. Already like 6 foot, like that frame. And if you look at him, just Google him after this. His frame, he's gonna fill out, yo. You can get up to 230, 240 easy. To me,
real quick. I'm sorry. I want to shout out Anthony Tank Jones because he wears goggles too.
Oh, like third?
Yeah.
Oh,
and no. I think it's a wrap. I don't know about Gaga, but he had glasses on in the picture, so I would imagine.
I just assume. I naturally just assume. Then you know what I mean.
Like he reminds me of Mr. Scroggins, man, and he's a problem. So salute to Tank, man.
Yeah, man. Poke, what you got? I hate going last here because it puts me in a weird position.
I didn't have a whole lot of time to really watch a whole lot of guys or look at tape and stuff.
Baseball,
but,
yeah.
But I really like that tight end. What's his Turner?
Turner.
I mean, he's that hybrid flex type tight end, like
Reverend
like
Jordan,
Lofton,
yeah.
one of those type of guys. And I think if we can somehow pull him out of Dallas, because I think SMU is the leader right now. But I think they're going to make some good headway with him, especially if our tight ends do what we think they should do this year. I think that'll go a long way, especially if Lofton ends up being the guy that we all know he can be.
Yes,
I think that'll speak volumes as far as that goes. But he would be what is he? I think he's a high 3-star right now, borderline 4. So
yeah,
I mean,
he's one of those because his height isn't where the metric
was he like 6'2.5" or something like that?
Yeah,
so.
he's in that he's in that Elijah Lofton, I'm saying, side height wise. So that's really what's keeping him. But the dude is crazy athletic.
Yeah, and I think it's blowing up over there.
You know how to put your phone on silent?
I told that I'm on. This is we all have families,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Nah, never. Can't do that.
I don't even remember the last time my ringer was on.
I've never heard my phone ring. Oh, like what? What's that? You must have gone. Yeah, okay.
That's the video joint.
Oh, okay. She knows. She see us. She can see.
I'm trying to tell her, like, yo, I'm doing my show, woman. Like, relax.
Yeah, like we here. Like, hey, put on YouTube. There's 170 people watching. We're here right now. Like,
yeah.
He's not outside anywhere. Look, he's here. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. All right.
I think one more to look out for, and it's one that we've kind of come on more recently is Brody Jennings. Bradley Jennings other son. So
rest in peace.
Yeah,
rest in peace to Pops. Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy. That's
tough.
Yeah,
very tough. But I know Miami. Yeah, 40, like early 40s, I think, mid 40s.
Yeah, like 40, 41.
Mid-40s, yeah. Crazy. Yeah. That's tough. That's tough for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think he's one to really watch. His
sister runs track here.
Yeah,
at Miami.
His older brother, Junior, played here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I know Pops played at Florida State, but I mean, I think Miami's real high on him. They look at him as one of the best cover corners out there right now. So I think that'll be one to really pay attention to going down the stretch.
It would be a flip since he's a Michigan commit for those of you who aren't following it as crazy intensely as we have been since we started the show. I'm gonna go smoke, man. I'm glad you guys didn't say it. Samari Matthews from Hough, you know what I'm saying, right down the road from my guy Joey. Thank you guys for leaving me that. You know what I'm saying? Physical. And I went both defensive backs and Samarian Watkins. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just, again,
they want him at linebacker here, though.
Yeah, moving him up to linebacker. That's how Miami's recruiting him. Again, 6'4", 6'4.5". So already got crazy, you know what I'm saying, height and length. So it's a problem. Those guys are physical. Look, it's a long road, man. We'll get commits started popping in July. You never know when names might pop. We might be on here and the graphic, the bat signal might go out.
Bat signal pops, yeah.
Yeah, bat signal. If the bat signal pops in the next 15, we're staying on till we see a graphic, but we have no idea. We'll see what happens. These are the names we're going after, man. Are national names, right? Like these are big time names. Any single one of these names you take from like Joe said, a Keyshawn Stansel, Samari Matthews, the whole list. There isn't one like, oh, it was cool that he was there. Are some going to be hard to pry away from the SEC? Yes, but shoot, dog. Like you gotta put you never know whose mind you might change when they go out there. You see Lamar Brown tweeting, and that's, you know what I'm saying, that's regardless of my pessimistic view of it, that's still a positive thing because other people see that. We're like, yo, what's going on in Miami? Because you never know what official visits could pop in the next couple of days that weren't happening this upcoming weekend. besides the Joel Irvins and the Darian Colemans. Yo, shout out to our commit that did come through this weekend, Camden Portis.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He was the only commit that came down. So that's dope. Shout out to him.
Can't wait to watch him play this fall, man. I'm gonna definitely catch him. He's out here too. So
he's not too far from you. Yeah.
Nope. Yep.
Yeah, man. So it's crazy. Now we got the I want to say lesser known names because we made a graphic for all of them, but the big name guys. We gotta you know what I'm saying? We gotta talk about the hometown kid Derrek Cooper. He's my numero uno. My numero uno must have in this recruiting class. Obviously, Jackson Cantwell already in the fold. I'm saying as far as uncommitted. If y'all haven't seen Derrek Cooper run in his highlights, please go watch him. Just
do everything. He could play. He could do a little bit of everything. Man.
Do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
He could do whatever he wants, man. With Joey as our resident wide receiver. You know what I'm saying?
We just said Derrek Cooper. Why we what?
No, because I was just mentioning.
Are you switching? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pivoting.
My bad. I didn't. No. You know, you just that was.
I just did it. It just happened. Yeah. This is live, Joe. Thank you for.
That was a quick pick. Okay.
It was a quick pivot. We're gonna stick on it, but I did want your take on Tristen Keys.
Yeah, he's ready. He's a man out there, and it's been a while since we've had a receiver that's ready. That's a man child out there, you know, that can come in as a freshman. I think of Amon Richards as being the last one, man, and that's I'm gonna keep it a buck. Amon Richards, man, you know, we saw him at the spring game. That's my favorite receiver of the last 10, 15 years, right there, man. Mm-hmm. Amon Richards was a problem. And I think Tristen Keys is that. I think Tristen Keys could step right in as a freshman and be ready to go, man. His frame, he's already, what is he, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". Got to be about 205, 210, at least 205 right now, you know, and physical, hands catcher, runs good routes, man, and he got that dog in him too. So, he's that guy, man.
Yeah, 247. I don't think is updated. It has him at 6'2.5", 180. He's not 180.
That boy.
No, you just look at recent pictures of him now. It's like that's not 180.
Hey, he was at the spring game walking around, man. I ain't 180. me and Willie was standing right next to him. I ain't 180.
That's not 180, dog.
Like if that's 180, then I'm 240. So.
That's crazy. All right, man. Just want to ask you about Tristen Keys there. Let's get back to Derrek Cooper. Polk, if you watched him, I don't. He's my number one. Like the chat is saying, Calvin Russell. I'm saying this. It's all prep. You know what I'm saying? It's all preference. Like I still want them both. Like they still want to jump on in on this class 100%. But I'm saying Cooper for me is you can never have enough running backs. Remember, there's a likelihood Fletcher leaves this offseason. This is third year, so you need to replace that with as many bodies as possible. Is why we almost always take 2 a year. What'd you think about Cooper, dog? Chaminade Madonna.
Dude's legit, man. I mean, he runs like a maniac too. He can, he's got good speed. He can hit people. He can put moves on people. So he can. He's like that in my book. So he's definitely a must. I think if you have to name a must get for this class, it's him, because if you do not and you miss out on that, that's one I would consider a whiff. I mean, there's not a lot that there's not a lot that I this might be one of the only ones, because I don't really do the whole
the
whole whiff thing. But if I had to name a whiff that we don't get, then it would be this one. So
I need a second.
Yeah.
What? Damn, we had
Cooper's ready too, man. Cooper's ready, and he's in the mold of the backs. Listen, Coach Cristobal definitely has a type.
Yes,
for sure.
Definitely has a type. You know what I mean? And Cooper is the type.
Yeah,
he's that type.
I mean, he falls
and
right
his
in
mom
line with,
his mom loves us, man. Shout
yeah.
out, you know,
shout out to mama.
Yes.
You ever sit back in your chair a little too far? And you have that moment where you think you might fall.
Feel like you fall.
You trying to. That's what just happened with Polk saying that might be a whiff. I don't know how to recover from that. We gonna try to keep it moving. We're trying to keep the show moving. But holy shit, yeah, I don't. That's a good conversation. I don't know if I have a whiff this. I mean, yes, but I don't know if Cooper would be my whiff, yo. Because with the Russell argument, like if your fallback is Tristen Keys, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the whiff in there. If that makes sense, right? Like, if it's one or the other, if you had to choose, so it's like if you're big game hunting like that, and you get one of those, I'm okay. But if you don't get Cooper, I don't know if there's another Cooper. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if there's another one running back that I want, like I want Cooper to be a Kane. I'm keeping it, you know what I'm saying, keeping it a stack.
Mm-hmm.
That's, man, you called it a whiff, dog. I can't. It is a whiff. Yeah, that would be a whiff. Yeah, if you don't close Cooper, it's a whiff. It's 100% a whiff.
I mean, just because of how much he's been tied to the program already, and growing up, I mean, down the street, growing up, his whole family, him being Canes fans. I mean, there's pictures of him, you know, running around in a little Hurricane jersey when he was a kid, and you know, taking pictures, throwing up the U. I mean, he's been a Cane since, you know, probably since birth, and with as much, you know, time and effort as the program and the staff and everything have put into his recruitment, I just think that's, if that one doesn't come to fruition, then it's, yeah.
I think there's things that can change that, right? So what if Coach Dawson leaves? You know what I mean? What if
Coach Merritt leaves?
What if who?
Coach Merritt.
Coach Merritt? I think Coach Dawson to be more of a loss because that whole system changes. Yeah. You know, and yeah, we say whiffs, like DJ Pickett in some people's eyes was a whiff.
Right.
You know, but like I said, and I think we all know, some kids just want to leave, man.
Yes.
I for whatever reason. I
left Miami, dog. Like,
some kids just want to bounce. They've been here all their lives. Like, you know, they don't want to be at home. They want to be a couple hours away. They want to play in the SEC, which I hate that shit. But they, for whatever reason, they just want to leave, man. So I don't know, but yeah, Coop.
I got a follow up.
That guy. Yeah.
I got a follow up question on the SEC shit. Y'all stay with me for a minute. I think a lot of the SEC, because of how well the SEC is covered and glazed, you know what I mean, and not talked about negative, was like there's a umbrella and a coverage that players get, like, because if they struggle, at least they're struggling in the SEC. Because if they struggle in like other conferences that are deemed lesser conferences, then they're not as good, right? Like, you'll see players that like didn't really ball out in the SEC still get drafted. Still, there's a wide receiver from Florida that you know what I'm saying didn't have any numbers, but hey, he played in the SEC. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's that kind of coverage, and
like you getting drafted if you played in the SEC. You could have played 3 subpar years at Alabama.
Yeah,
and you're gonna be
you'll be the 8th receiver, and you had no more than 17 catches every year. But hey, you played at Florida. Hey, you played here, and I think that's such a hard thing to recruit and fight against, because if you quote unquote underperform in the ACC, the Big 12, because the Big 10 gets some of that same coverage. I think it's so hard to fight against that, right? Because if you there's a receiver a couple years ago that left us at Ohio State now that got passed over, that hasn't gotten any snaps, right? But hey, he's at Ohio State. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you know
he hasn't played. Maybe he'll play this year. He did play a little last year, no?
Yeah, he got a couple snaps. Year 3, right? That's year 3. Like,
so you rather do that,
yes,
up there than be at home and
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that. There is a lot of that because like, hey, but you know who got coached by?
But he has a ring though.
Exactly. But I mean, so does Nick. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that didn't get any minutes get rings.
Robert Ory.
Big shot. Leave Big Shot Bob out of this. You know what I'm saying? Xavier McDaniel or something.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mo. Exactly. I don't want to put it out there because you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but in
know,
the chat,
everybody know who you talking.
Everybody know. Like it's a lot of that you have to fight against, right? Like where you know there's a good chance you still make it to the league, being the 12th, you know what I'm saying, the 15th guy off the bench type shit. So to come here,
NIL was crazy. You're getting taken care of, and I think it's the motivation of the young men because let's keep it a stack, man. The SEC. If you're the environments are.
I'm not saying
the environments are crazy. Like when we go, if you go to a Georgia game or Alabama game, it's crazy. Now I'm not going to front. I love Miami's environment. I love the tailgating scene at the Rouge. That shit is dope to me, you know. But you know, it may be a little bit different when you go somewhere else.
Mo. Yeah, shout out to Mo. Exactly, Mo.
Look, leave that man alone, man.
SEC has some premium schools, yo, like Vanderbilt. There's some. I'm not talking about like the education side of it. Look, if you're not gonna be criticized and put on blast, right? Like, and get, you know what I'm saying, get sheltered from criticism because you know what I'm saying, your commissioner's a monster, and it's kind of saying that you're entitled to all these things as like a 9-win team when you've lost the best teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obvious why you would want to go there. Like, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, like, when you have that where you know you could underperform and not put up stats, but hey, you know your guy puts in guys into the league, you might still get drafted. Like, buddy, you know what I'm saying? The eighth receiver from Ohio State might still get some burn in the league. That might still happen. So it's hard to recruit against that, man. Like, you gotta like over recruit at sometimes the ACC tax, overpay, and figure out if you could do it. Shout out to Lord Bakington in the building. Appreciate you, man.
Salute,
you know appreciate the chat. Got 200 people in here rocking with us. That has to factor in too, and that's shit you have to fight up. You see the graphics. Miami's the only ACC team amongst SEC.
So you got to fight a lot of these guys, you know.
Yeah.
And again, man, it's a certain type of player, certain type of personality.
Yep.
You know, and I think Coach Cristobal and staff identifies those type of personalities who want to compete regardless, who really want to play football, not just go put on the uniform and go to the SEC. And, you know, these guys who really want to play football, man, you know, so, you know, it's really the kid and who he's around and the family who's pushing him, what his motivation is. Mm-hmm. If he has the people in his circle that are pushing him towards the bag or whatever, then, you know, that's what it's going to be. But if that kid makes his own decisions and he has good people around him, then, you know, he'll make a better informed decision.
Chi-Town Kane says, if you're a year one starter in the SEC or Big Ten, you're being developed. 1 year starter anywhere else, what took him so long to start? Yeah. And that's the reality, right? Like that was a conversation we had. I want to bring you in on this. That was a conversation me and Joey had towards the end of the last show, where play the young guys, right? The play the young guys argument and the not so much support, or like, where do you stand on that? Because you played, man. You know what I'm saying, you're a Stanton Hall of Famer in your county. we're not gonna say the county, but it's kind of obvious where it is.
Everybody knows it's Polk.
Everybody knows Polk. He is the county.
Yeah.
If you ever seen a building, if you ever need a building moved, I'll at my guy.
Yeah.
You know, where do you stand on the play? Because that's the pitching. That's what you have to pitch in recruiting, right? Like, look, you're gonna come in, you're gonna start, you're gonna get time. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in the running. You got a chance. So where do you stand on it, and how do you view year 2 of that? Because you can't make that pitch to every guy, right? Because if you're gonna get receivers every year, and that guy you recruited the year before is still gonna be there next year.
Yeah, first, I don't think you ever guarantee somebody playing time or guarantee a starting spot. I don't think that's fair, really. No, I mean, not just to the player, but I don't think it's fair to the team and the coaching staff as well, because now, okay, you if you guarantee this guy or you tell him that you're going to be a starter, and then what motivation does that give that player? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I really don't have to do much. They already told me I'm going to start, I'm going to play, so I can just, go through the motions. Whereas you got a kid that's, busting ass every day. He's in there working and trying to get better and trying to, make a name for himself, so to speak, and earn a spot on that starting rotation. Then you have to kind of like, well, I already made this promise to this kid. He's got to play, but now, I got this other guy who's really outplayed him. He's shown he can do things better. He's a better overall player. So now where am I stuck? So as far as when it comes to things like that, I don't think young, old, first year, second year, third year, whatever. I think you put the best player out there regardless of who it is. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's when, and that's when it becomes vitally important to the coaching staff to be able to have those type of evaluations and be able to watch players during these workouts, during practices. What are they doing before practice? What are they doing after practice? What is their, how are their attitudes? Well, how do they approach the game? What type of work ethic do they have? All those things you have to take into account. Whereas us from the outside looking in, we don't see those things every day. All we see are highlights, or we see the clip of the remarkable catch he made one-handed diving to the back of the end zone in practice over, the 5-star cornerback that's all world. And, so now, we only see those things, and everybody goes crazy. It's like, oh my God, he's going to be, the next, the next Andre Johnson, and, and all this stuff. So I think there's way too many factors that coaches and evaluators have to look at when it comes to who plays and when they play and how much they play. But I definitely agree that there is a need to play the young guys that aren't going to get a lot of playing time, just to have something to base growth on. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't see them in an actual game situation or, game tempo, those types of things, it's a little harder to get a true evaluation of the player, rather than just going up against guys you see in and out every day at practice. And you know their tendencies, how to, right. So I think it's important in that aspect. So, but if the freshman is beating out the senior and it's undeniable, you play the freshman. Same goes for the opposite, so best player plays. That's how I see it.
I'm with you on that, man. Joe, what you got?
Yeah, same thing. Like we said last week, man, all that he needs snaps type shit. I don't buy into that, man. Like, he's been playing football. Everybody, freshmen come in, he's been playing football for the last 16, well, probably 10, 12 years. He comes in early in December, January. He has 8 months playing with the big boys, getting adjusted to the speed of the game in the college weight room. If he's ready to play, he's ready to play. If he's better than the senior ahead of him, better than the junior ahead of him, then he's better. Like, I think, again, depending on, and that's position dependent, right? Like, I think it's harder as a D tackle to come in as a 17-year-old and play and start. It's definitely harder as a guard, a tackle. But as a receiver, a skill position guy, listen, man, if you better, you better. Let's get it.
Yeah. I think one of the only exceptions might be at quarterback.
Quarterback, yeah. Yep. Quarterback,
so
too.
You can't, as far as like getting snaps, I think that the one position I think that you need snaps at is a quarterback, especially
it's quarterback,
for
yeah. And
young,
yeah, just, sometimes you get a guy, like I said, like, who's been in the program for 8 months, and but it's different because they can't get hit. They're not getting hit. So like if Notre Dame is bringing a freshman quarterback to the Rock on the 31st, that's just going to be a little,
little dicey.
He's going to need some things. He's going to need some things to go a certain way. So, but yeah, I think the snaps argument is kind of overrated a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Because I mean, like you said, these kids have been playing since majority of them have been playing since they were, 6-7 years old. So
since they could walk,
big time football, like especially if you from Florida, you from Texas, you from Georgia, you've been playing big time football, man. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts. Anthony says the whole snaps thing I blame on the coach promising it to the kid. Why they get transferred. Coach promised that we're going to start right away, then they get redshirted. I don't think that's every case though. Like, I think that used to be the case. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't think I agree.
Coach is silly if he does that shit. Like that's just
I don't think, and I don't think Coach Cristobal is doing that at all. Coach Cristobal keeps it a bug. He's like, yo, look, you're gonna come in here and compete. You ain't gonna start. You ain't gonna start because not every 5-star. There's a 5-star that's just been sitting in the lab working on the offensive line, and that didn't happen before. Like, we threw out a 280-pound left tackle that we out recruited App State for a couple years back. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't happen anymore. We're gonna wait till you're ready, and then look. A lot of last year though, because we're working off last year's info. A lot of last year we weren't in games where we could have played the young guys. We were in games to the very end because of our atrocious defense. Shout out to Willie, man. Y'all make sure y'all support our guy and everybody else who does Canes content. Appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, man. I think it's more multi-layered than just like just play the young guys because we didn't play the young guys. CC started. Cameron Bobby Pruitt got a ton of snaps, who I thought was a better, linebacker than like just showed better tendencies on that side. Popo got hurt, throughout the season. So those are all things that factor in, and you didn't have the numbers in the secondary. So there was no young guys to play in this, and Zaquan still got burned. OJ, OJ got all the snaps. So it's not so much like we never play the young guys. We do. Don't let the narratives lie to you, dog. Don't let what other people say influence. Like just watch the games. Like we did play a ton of young guys. Ruben Bain got a ton of snaps year one. Was hurt last year. So those are all factors, man. Inez Cooper played a lot as a freshman too. Like went into his senior year. Anthony Mazzano has a question. Joey, if these receivers are all in the same class, what two do you take? Jesus, what are you doing,
I saw the question earlier. I already have an answer.
I already did too.
Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. Yes.
That's who I'm taking.
That's not even that's not who you're taking, Polk. Who you got? Hold up. If you're listening to the pod, let me ask the question because some people listen to the pod. Joey, if these receivers are all in the same class, what two do you take? AJ Green, Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson, JJ, Amari Cooper, Calvin. What Calvin we doing here? Is Calvin Russell? I think, maybe.
Calvin Russell.
Yeah, Calvin Russell, Devontae
Smith, or Waddle. Waddle's not even in mine. Come on.
No.
That's not like I get like there's crossover of like Dolphins fans, but come on.
Julio and Calvin for me, man.
Yeah. What about you, Poke?
Calvin and JJ.
Calvin and JJ.
Okay.
What's the criteria based off their college career?
Yeah, gotta be. I think. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you would have to if JJ's on there, but no, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's all said and done,
and Calvin, man.
Calvin Johnson's
he was stupid. I was so sad that
Reggie Ball, dog. Reggie Ball just had to roll out, throw the ball up, and he'd catch everything. Like I remember that all day. Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson for me. Yeah, I'm with you on JJ though, but
based on their high school career, he's saying.
Oh
shit! I don't even know what the I don't even know.
I don't think Calvin Johnson had video back then. Did they? You had to deliver. You had to deliver physically USPS
VHS tapes.
Yeah, fam. Like I don't know what Betamax was doing. I'm not. Come on, dog. That's a crazy. I didn't watch. No.
I don't know. I don't know about that high school career.
The only one I know of is JJ.
JJ, right?
I mean,
yeah, JJ. Yeah,
Calvin Russell. Yeah.
I don't
know.
Yeah, but there's no third, dog. We're not adding third hypothetical. There's no third. It's the top two. Julio Jones is one of the best wide receivers I've seen, and Calvin Johnson was just utterly disrespectful with
Calvin Johnson wasn't doing that in high school. Yeah, I would imagine that's why he went to Georgia Tech, maybe.
Yeah, that's why he
of all places.
Of all places, could have gone anywhere, but he became that.
That's true.
That's
so in college. I'm taking Calvin Johnson.
I'm taking Calvin Johnson all day. Yeah, man. Y'all got anything else before we get up out of here? Ton of visits coming up next week.
I don't know. I don't think we have a list for next week yet.
I know Darian Coleman and Joel Irvin are on next week's list because Dave said it. So
yeah.
And plus, you know what I'm saying? Darian Coleman said, I'm gonna show y'all next week how to wear the uniform. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to QB1.
That's funny, boy. He said people wasn't swagging right, man.
People wasn't swagging right.
You gotta show them what to do.
I know the 2 commits will be in next week's class. We'll have probably more names by Wednesday's show. Hopefully watching a baseball victory tonight to get ready for Super Regionals next weekend.
It's about to start.
Yeah, it's about to kick off. That's why we're jumping off. Joy, what you got, man?
Any names first?
Okay.
At all?
Polk, who's starting? Well, Joey looks it up.
Oh, what's the kid's name? Tate.
Okay.
Tate DeRice.
Okay. Shout out to Hughes with the complete game, by the way.
Bro, oh man, he was he was still he threw 122 pitches, and his last inning he was still popping 92, 93.
Yeah, he was throwing fire though.
He was throwing some gas. Curveball was on point too.
Watch the interview that DG gave off.
That
shit
great.
was stupid.
So that was good.
He looked like everybody was. It was funny.
Well, when you have a game like he does,
he should be carried to the locker room.
So I think teams are going to start thinking twice about walking Cuvée to get to him because the first time they did it, they walked Cuvée, put him on. The Digo goes a 3-run bomb. Then a couple innings later, they walk Cuvée to load the bases, and homeboy hits a grand slam. So
8 RBIs yesterday.
8 RBIs, sick. He had a
crazy
career game, man. Is unreal.
All right, so according to On 3,
okay.
According to On 3, this weekend, Bryce Perry Wright, which is huge.
Yes.
James Johnson, which is huge.
Yeah, Northwestern
Superman Hezzy Kent. Which is huge. Just
literally
visit.
Yeah.
A safety, Tyreek Green, Devin Jackson, who I think recently decommitted from Florida. Was that Devin Jackson? Or he's a Florida lean or something.
I'll pull it up right now. Give me 1 second.
Danny Odom, Brett Collier.
Oh, okay.
Who's the old lineman we want to get familiar with? Carson Sneed, who's a Tennessee commitment at tight end, 6'5", 230.
That's not bad.
Braden Robinson, we're familiar with that wide receiver. I think he's from Texas.
Yeah.
NASCAR McCoy. That's a wild name.
All right.
McCoy.
NASCAR.
All right. Do y'all ever seen the skits from Key and Peele?
Absolutely.
Some of these names be really leaning into that shit. I'm just NASCAR.
That shit in the classrooms, and oh my god.
Yeah. Aaron? Come on, dog. Aaron is legendary.
Yeah. Freddie Wilson from Daytona Beach coming down. Joe Irvin, like you mentioned, should be here. And it looks like Justice Fitzpatrick is going to be on campus on Thursday. And that's supposed to be by himself, I think.
Surprising. What? His brother knows Mario very well.
Very
Minka,
well. Yes.
who recruited him to Alabama.
So this is according to On 3, man. There's gonna be some different names. There's gonna be some more. Some people may not make it. So yeah, man.
Some new names popping on. Things like that. Mo says he has jury duty tomorrow. Mo, you are not allowed to be late to this.
Guilty.
You're gonna find your way to jail somehow. Like, I think that's gonna, you might be on the jury, but they're gonna find you for something. You did it.
The Diddy trial.
He's gonna be the ultimate.
Mo's going to New York for the Diddy trial.
He's gonna be late as he's bringing his own baby oil. All right, man, we up out of here. Hey, man, y'all be good, be safe. Catch y'all on Wednesday. Double
First
show
pitch.
Wednesday.
First pitch, 7:36. Time got bumped back.
All right,
Let's get it.
all right, man. Y'all be good, man. Peace.
Thanks for watching. You heard. Thanks for listening. We appreciate y'all. You already know every Wednesday, 6 o'clock. You already know every Sunday. Right on time.